Hey guys, my name is Name, and today Majora's Mask 3D is the game. In the last episode, we got here to the Pirates Fortress. In this episode, we will take on said Pirates Fortress. I apparently cannot speak today. Great way to get things started off. I mean, let's be honest, what can I ever speak? First things first is we're going to want to warp over to Milk Road, or really anywhere where you can get magic, but for whatever reason, I had the worst practice attempt ever taking on this fortress, because I could not find magic absolutely anywhere. It is so hard to get your hands on magic here. I don't know if it's a 3DS version thing, because I don't remember ever having that much trouble with it previously, but I cannot find magic anywhere. So I'm coming here to get some magic. One thing to be warned of though is there's a little bit of magic right here. Again, things can be placed differently depending on what version you're playing. I had no clue, to be quite honest with you. I don't remember small little details like what's in the grass, but if you do come here in the 3DS version, know that there will be only a little bit of magic right there in the grass, so what you're going to need to do is go out to Termina Field. However, I want to warn you, be very careful. The Dekuri is out there, and in my practice attempt, the Dekuri stole one of my bottles, which is probably one of the worst things he could have stolen at that point, being that it is going to be very convenient for you if you have all 4 bottles going into the Pirates Fortress. If you don't, it's not necessary by any means, but it'll make your life a lot easier. So we're gonna get full magic. Let's stop. Okay, that's very close to full magic. I will happily take that. And we're gonna warp back to Great Bay, and then we're going to swim to the Pirates Fortress once again. But definitely recommend you pick up some magic before you go in, because for whatever reason, it was so... I could not find any magic anywhere. I searched that place top to bottom. And you're gonna need magic for sure to go through here, so... Not a whole ton, but you're gonna need some. So make sure you go pick up some magic before you go in. If you have just a little bit of magic left, probably not gonna be enough. Go pick up some magic. Anyways, I'll see you guys back there at the Pirates Fortress. Alright, here we are, and I said previously that this is one of my favorite areas in the game, and it is, but honestly, this place is so intricate and massive that I believe it really almost earns the title of dungeon, in my opinion. I mean, I definitely get strong, like, Forsaken Fortress vibes from this. It reminds me a lot of the Forsaken Fortress and Wind Waker. I mean, it's definitely a mini dungeon to say the least, but I mean, for standards of this game, the dungeons of this game, or at least the later ones, are pretty complex, but this is complex for, I guess, like a mini dungeon. I mean, I don't know. I think of this as kind of the 5th dungeon of this game, just my personal opinion. Anyways, well, first of all, on the first day, you're going to see on the bottom map, you're going to see these little dots that are going around. Those are the Gerudo that are, patrolling on their boats. You're going to want to watch out for those. Now, if you're playing the Nintendo 64 version, you might have something called the Stone Mask that will help you out greatly, but if you're playing the 3DS version, you likely do not. Well, you don't. Hold up. Sorry about that, I had some like really weird lagging issues with my footage. Hopefully you guys did not see that. If you're playing the 64 version, you'll have this. You have the chance to have the Stone Mask at this point. If you have the Stone Mask, you're invisible to the Gerudo, which is very good for you. But if you do not, you'll have to avoid them at all costs, because if they catch you, they will kick you out. So I'm going to play through this entire thing. We're eventually going to get the Stone Mask later, but I'm going to play through this entire thing wearing the Stone Mask once I get it, but I will be acting as if I don't have it, just to show you guys what you would have to do to get through it. Do watch out for these enemies. I can't remember the name of them. The name of them going up on the screen right now. Watch out for them. All you have to do is just press R to just blast on through them. Now, be careful coming up here on this platform. Again, look at your map if you're playing the 3DS version and see what the dots are, and be careful before you come above the surface. Now, your bow and arrow is going to be extremely useful here, because you can use your bow and arrow to stun the Gerudo from far away. I'll show you guys what exactly this looks like in just a moment, but once you get up to this northern platform, you're going to want to put on the Goron mask and pound this in. Now, don't worry, there's no sort of time limit, so you don't need to rush yourself at all, which is good, being that we need to watch out for the Gerudo pirates. But let me show you what I'm talking about. Well, maybe, let me see. No, we have a good opening right now. Let's just dive on in. I'll show you guys what I mean later. There'll be plenty of opportunities to show you how to stun the Gerudo, but after you open that up, you can go ahead and enter in on the side. Now, try not to use all your magic right now. You're going to need it later. There are a lot of treasure chests that are around here. They will all contain 20 rupees. And I already have 106 rupees. I should have probably deposited some in the bank. And in fact, if you have some rupees before going into this place, I recommend you do so, because you are going to find a lot of rupees in and about this place. They're pirates for a reason, guys. They have lots of treasure chests that hide They normally come in packs of 20, but there's a lot of rupees to be obtained here. So definitely take advantage of that. And if you only have 2 bottles, or if you have less than 4 bottles, you're gonna need to leave this place and come back later. You're gonna see why I say that in just a moment. But unless you have all 4 bottles, you will need to leave this place and return. So when you do that, take the opportunity to drop off some rupees in the bank, so you can come back and get some more of the rupees, because you will fill up on rupees here, even if you do have the 200 size wallet. Anyways. Let's go ahead and bonk on into this. There you go. That's why you need the magic. You need the magic to bonk on into that. I do not believe there's another way you can take out those walls in our current state. So you're gonna need to bonk. You're gonna need magic for that. After taking out that wall right over there, you're gonna see there's a treasure chest in the middle of this room. I believe if we come over here, am I correct? Am I thinking? Yep, you're going to want to surface, rise above the walls, and drop on in for this chest right over here. I had a really confusing time getting this my first time playing this game. I could not figure out how to get to it. And when I realized I just needed to rise above, I felt really, really dumb, I gotta say. Let's see. Now, let me see. He's not doing what I wanted him to do. Link does this really weird thing sometimes when you surface, where right now he's not doing it right now, but you don't really swim, you just kind of hover along, and it's really cool. It's interesting to watch. But there's a little bit of a puzzle, I guess, if you could call this a puzzle right here. You're going to want to come over here, pull out this block, and it will open up the little pathway that's in the middle, and that's how we're going to get through this room. So I'm recording this on January 1st. Happy New Year. For you guys, it's probably, I believe, like the 5th of January at this point, if you're watching this on the day it's released. So this video is going up a little bit later than it was recorded, but yeah, Happy New Year. I spent my New Year's Eve last night with my girlfriend, and after that we went to her house. We spent time with her family, and yeah, it was nice. I mean, pretty, kind of uneventful, but hey, I mean, I enjoyed it, you know. Being around the people you love is important, at least in my opinion, on that day. Well, after coming up to this room, you're gonna see, you can't really call these an enemy, they're more just a hazard. These spike mines, just swim on above them. They're really easy to avoid. Now be very careful for this right over here. You're gonna see a jet of water that'll come from out of one pipe, well, out of one hole and into another. That sounds weird. Don't get sucked into that. Should you get sucked into that, it'll kick you back out outside the Pirate's Fortress. And at this point, it's kind of annoying because you have to do a little bit of backtracking. Backtracking through this area will become easier later, but for now, not something you want to do. Anyway, this place is pretty linear, pretty straightforward for the most part. Just follow the map. It's kind of hard to get lost in here. We got more spike mines, and this room actually contains a very lovely thing. It's not in that chest over there. See a piece of heart through that door. Well, let's go get that chest really quick. Like I said, there's gonna be a ton of rupees here for you to obtain. Sink on down, which I gotta say, the Zora's mask, another reason why it's my favorite mask, is it combines, at the very least, unless I'm missing one, 2 items into the mask. You don't have as many items in this game, usable items, as you do in Ocarina of Time, Brothers, all the games, because the masks really fill your needs. Right here, boomerang. There you go. Right here, iron boots. I mean, you can't stick to anything magnetic, so I mean, you know, that function isn't there. But you can sink down what you would need the boots for. So yeah, and Zora's mask is extremely useful. And I really like how they incorporated those abilities into the mask. So yeah, really cool thing. Coming up here, you're gonna want to bonk on into these barrels right here. At least in my opinion, it's easier to do as Hylian Link than to do it as Zora Link. Let's hop down really quick. Interesting thing right here is if you use your fins, you can launch them through the barrels, and bad example right there. But if there's something in the barrels, like let's say rupees, it'll bring it back out of the barrel to you. So kind of, well, gee, I look like a whole liar now. I promised you it happened to my practice attempt. Okay. Anyways. Let's hit that switch now. Interesting little difference right here. There's a lot of very random, obscure differences between the Nintendo 64 version and the 3DS version. In the 64 version, it was a lot harder to get through here. You had a much shorter time period to get from that switch to this door right here. And you'd have to use the Goron mask or the bunny hood and quickly cut corners in order to get here. So, do note that. If you're finding yourself having a very hard time, you're playing the 64 version, you're like, wow, I don't know how he did it so easily. That's why. Anyways, hit that switch to get back out of here. That was piece of heart 22, by the way. And there's one more chest right over here that we can obtain if we do so wish. We're at 167 rupees right now. This treasure chest doesn't have a whole lot in it though, so might as well take it. I don't know, I feel weird leaving a treasure chest behind. Even if we can't actually put the rupees in our wallet, I'd rather yank it out of the chest and throw it away so no one else can have it. I mean, the pirates probably have enough money anyways, and most of this is most likely stolen, but hey, I guess you can't assume such things. Maybe they got this money doing good work, I don't know. Come up these stairs over here, you're gonna want to roll into these barrels, because doing so will give you a clear shot on the switch right over here. No time limit here, you're just gonna wanna go to hit that with either your bow and arrow or your fins. Hopefully you don't have as bad of aim as I do. What I've learned is you gotta have to aim a little bit low with the boomerang. Well, not the boomerang, but with the fins when aiming far away. Sometimes, because they come back up a little bit after you use them. But anyways, no time limit here. Just gonna go hop on in. Oh, excuse me, I stand correct. There was a time limit, I didn't realize, wow. All right, this room right up here, you're gonna need to swim above this jet because again, that'll take you on out. But you also need to avoid these spike mines. The spike mines, they just explode if you hit them. In case you're wondering, I'll run into one really quick. Doesn't deal you a whole lot of damage. Half a heart is not bad at all, but I mean, it's definitely not preferable to run into them. But if you do, hey, it's not the end of the world at all. So by any means, don't be too stressed out about them. Continuing forward, got a ladder right up here, which I haven't taken a moment to really appreciate the music here, so I'm gonna be quiet so you guys can listen to the music. Yeah, it's pretty repetitive, but I really like the feeling that it gives you. It definitely has a very fortressy theme to it. Sorry, that's kind of a bad way of explaining. Once you get up here, you're gonna want to first of all hop off really quick. Don't go back down because you just have to hit that switch again. Which that was really weird. When I was using my fins, they were going through the metal gate that was preventing you from hitting the switch, but the switch wasn't being hit even though my fins were going straight through. It was really weird. You, don't stress too much about hitting that switch over there because you can hit it from right up here. You can just knock these spike mines into each other. Oh, and wow, that actually hit the switch. The explosion itself triggered the switch. You're gonna find a telescope right over here. Let's look on through. Kind of get a bit of a view around the fortress a little bit. Again, getting strong Forsaken Fortress vibes here. The Forsaken Fortress is probably pretty inspired by this area. You zoom on in right down here. That's a little hint of where we need to go. So we are going to go that way. Alright, sorry about that. Something that I should mention that I don't know if I mentioned this on camera yet or not. I put in my 2 weeks notice on my old work. This is not related at all to the game, obviously, but figured I would go ahead and mention it. I'm not sure if I mentioned this on camera. I definitely put it on Twitter, but yeah, I quit my old job. I have a job here in my hometown that I work at whenever I come back on college, like on break from college, and I just decided that I didn't want to do it anymore. The place had changed a lot, and hey, wasn't there something you needed to do right now? You better check your schedule. I could have sworn I turned that alarm off. What is it? Is she still trying to remind me to go to Romani Ranch? Oh, I removed the alarm off camera, but I did not remove it on camera. Okay, well, there you go. The alarm has been removed. It's not gonna bother me again. So there you go. If you keep being annoyed by Tattle to do things after setting alarms, that's how you turn them off. It's quite simple. If you smash this pottery, you'll get some arrows. You will need some arrows coming up here. They will be very useful. Some health will not hurt you either. But there's no magic anywhere. No magic. I mean, you're not gonna spot me getting any magic in this fortress in this episode. I don't know why magic's so hard to come by here. I just don't know. Like, this game is usually very good about, hey, you'll need these items. Let's just throw them at you through pottery and grass, but not, for whatever reason, not magic here. And here we are kind of in the hub of Gerudo Fortress, and you will see that this place is a little bit more heavily guarded than the previous areas that we were in. I should mention that, I'm surprised I haven't mentioned it yet, the reason why we're avoiding these guys is because if they spot us, they will throw us out of the fortress. If you get to this point though, they will not throw you completely out of the fortress, they'll just throw you right outside the walls that we were just in. So you don't get completely thrown out, you just kind of get thrown out to the outer portion of the area. If you're playing the 3DS version, save point right here. Highly recommend you use it. I mean, I don't highly recommend it, but I mean, it'd be useful for you to go ahead and save really quick. So, I'm gonna save because backup files! I can do that. And you can too, since you don't have to worry about recording footage and possibly like messing up a recording, but already having saved and that being a bad thing. You don't need to worry about that. We're gonna transform back into Hylian really quick, and I'm gonna be a Hylian for most of the portions coming on up from here on out. We're gonna want to use our bow and arrow. This is what happens if you shoot one of the pirates. They'll just be stunned. And they stayed down and stunned for quite some time. Let's see if there are any around here. Now, once you bring them down, Tattle's gonna alert you right over here. Hey, did you just call me? That's strange, I could have sworn someone just called to me. You're going to want to quickly, because we don't want the pirates to wake back up and kick us out, you're going to want to quickly put on the Lens of Truth. Oh, shoot. Oh, I got caught. Oh, no. Well, I guess this is good because you can see what happens. This is what I meant by you don't get completely thrown out of the fortress. You get thrown out just right here, which is where we were just a few moments ago. Not too bad at all. If you do get thrown out from here, though, any point that's before this right here, you will be thrown completely out, and that's kind of annoying. So, you know, I guess that's why saving might be useful to you if you're worried about getting caught. Now, let's take these guys out one more time. Now, my practice attempt, the reason why I told you guys to be so wary of the Takuri is because in my practice attempt, he stole one of my bottles, which was very annoying for me. Let's see, and I had to, he stole the bottle that had the red potion, so I wasn't able to do this off camera. How did you wake up so quick? Okay, right over here. We are going to quickly talk to this gentleman right here. Okay, I was really worried. I could not speak to him for whatever reason. So someone finally noticed me. And just because we're talking, the pirates are gonna act like they don't even see us. She just look this way, just like, nothing to see there. That guy's having a conversation with nobody. It's really weird. So someone finally noticed me. The name's Shiro. I'm a Clocktown soldier. Thing is, I've never been able to get others to notice me. It's depressing. Man, tell me about it. I thought I'd stand out if I did something brave, so I infiltrated the pirates' fortress, but then, well, I ran out of energy. Now here I am. I've been crying out for help for what seems like an eternity, but not even those blasted pirates seem to notice. Typical, really. It's because of my personality, right? I have about as much presence as a stone. That's my lot in life, I guess. I have a request. Can you give me some medicine that will make me feel better? Select an item, okay. So, if you're playing the 64 version of this game, you'll find this guy in the Kana Valley. If you're playing the 3DS version, you'll find him here, which it makes more sense because the item that he's about to give us is going to make it a lot easier to get through this area. So it kind of makes sense that they made this change, and I don't really oppose it. In fact, I probably welcome it because it forces you to actually avoid the pirates a little bit more than you would have if you had the stone mask from outright at the beginning. So, I welcome this change. Anyways, this is why you want to have a red potion. A couple of episodes ago, I told you pick one up. This is why. So, this will heal his wounds. And if you're playing the 64 version, same mechanic. You give him a red potion in the Kana Valley. Is that it? I feel better, I think. What a miraculous recovery. Thanks. Oh, here, in gratitude. He will give you the stone mask, where to become as plain and inconspicuous as a stone. This mask is very useful here. Not so useful elsewhere, but very useful here. Now, time to make my escape. See you later. Yeah, man, it's not your personality. It's the fact that literally you're invisible. Not sure why you're invisible, and that's a very sad existence now thinking about it, but quickly put on the stone mask because in doing so, you're invisible to everybody else. Oh, and he's actually visible now. That's awesome. They don't mind him running around for whatever reason. They'll only kick us out, but yeah, he'll just run on out. And I've never seen him do this before because I've never played through the 64 the 3DS version of this game, beginning to end. So I'm gonna watch him just leave. If we go out here, do we see him? No, he's gone, but yeah, that's really interesting right there. I welcome that change. Anyways, with the stone mask, the pirates cannot see you at all, and this is very useful because you no longer need to avoid them. It just makes it a lot easier to get around, and you can just slash them down, and they'll probably not know what hit them. But there's no reason for you to slash them down since they can't see you. If you're slashing them down just for the sake of it, you're probably very much a jerk and just aggressive. I say as I slash them down. Okay. Anyways, now that that's done, what do we want to do? Yeah, we're gonna want to go up these stairs right here. Stairs, these are not stairs. This is a ladder. You know, I've gotta say something really quick. The surrounding area is actually very much reminding me of Avatar: The Last Airbender. And I only say that because I've been watching it recently, and just the first season. And seeing the red banners that are around and the spikes in this fortress-y sort of area. Well, I mean, this is a fortress, but it reminds me of the episode of Avatar: The Last Airbender where it's in the first season, and it's where Katara purposefully gets caught by the Fire Nation so she can go to the fortress that's out in the middle of the ocean that they keep the Earthbenders at. And this just very much reminds me of that. I could totally see like a little flame in the middle of that instead of that skull, but yeah. I'm very much an Avatar fan, if you did not know. Very excited for the live-action remake series that's coming out in 2020. It cannot be worse than the movie. Of course it can't be worse than the movie. I said it can't be worse than the movie. I'm hoping, I'm just praying, actually, that it won't be worse than the movie. Because, oh my goodness. But, yeah, I watched it recently because I got the DVD set for Christmas, which was an awesome gift, I must say. And it was a Blu-ray set, and I have a Blu-ray player down in my new apartment, and I went down there and set things up recently, and because I'm moving into the apartment next semester, I went down there to get things set up for me moving in, you know, get stuff put away and organized, and I had the Blu-ray player, I had the disc set, so I kind of played it while I was out and about getting stuff set up in the apartment. So I watched a little bit of Avatar for the first time in years, which was very nostalgic, and I appreciate it more as an adult now than I did as a kid. Anyways, it's cutscene time. I need to be quiet. I've been waiting for you. Oh, I love going through this cutscene with Link wearing the stone mask. He just looks so darn derpy. And did you find the rest of the eggs? No, but that's because... What are you trying to pull here? And people here, the great pirates, have lost the treasure they stole, will become a laughingstock. Yes, but a veil. The sea is strangely murky where we were attacked by the sea snakes. Silence! That's why the Zoras can't send for any help. Now that the eggs are gone, the Zoras should be frantically searching for them. If we don't hurry, the Zoras will get to them before we do. There are 4 eggs here now. The other 3 must be past the twin rocks of Pinnacle Rock, where the sea snakes lurk. Got that? Then hurry! Go find the eggs before the sinister sea snakes gobble them up. Understood. Wait! The Zora eggs are the only clue we have about the dragon cloud floating over the bay. If what that strange masked one says is true. And if we can get our hands on the treasure that lies sleeping in the temple in that dragon cloud, then we can spend the rest of our lives living the good life. So, get a move on and go find them. Now! Understood! That was quite the little pep talk right there. It's like, hey, I know I just yelled at you, but guess what? If you find the thing, we'll be rich. You're just like, oh yeah, understood. Definitely a very big difference between that understood and the understood. Okay, so, the bee flying through here at the beginning was not just a setting the scene sort of detail. That was a very important detail. What you're gonna wanna do, get out your bow and arrow. And this actually really isn't necessary if you're playing, if you have the stone mask. But we're gonna do it anyways because it's funny. And if you don't have the stone mask, this is what you would do. Get out your bow, shoot the beehive. And the bees will chase them on out. Quick little thing, if you're playing the 64 version, you will not be able to easily hop down into this room. This is another really minor change they made, the 3DS version, is right here you can just hop on down. In the 64 version, you would need to go back out that way, hop down, and then enter through this door right over here. But playing the 3DS version, we can just hop on down. Now that the pirates have been scared out of here, we can go grab the treasure. You found the hook shot. Use it to grapple items so you can reel them in or pull yourself over to them. Press and hold the corresponding button to arm it, then use the analog stick to aim. Release to shoot. One of the coolest items in this game. Link looks so derpy with the mask. I just love it. Yeah, there's not a mask that that I guess utilizes that incorporates the ability of a previous item within the mask, like the Zora's mask uses the boots and the boomerang, kind of incorporates it within the mask. There's no mask that does that for the hookshot, so they did include that in this game, and I'm very glad they did because it's one of my favorite items in all of Zelda. Let's go and equip it to where. Ooh, actually, I want to use all these items. Okay, I'll just put it right here. Hookshot. There you go. You can use it to grapple onto things like barrels. You'll see these targets lying around. Ironically, you cannot use it to grapple onto grate. You would think you'd be able to do that. Let's see what else. You can grapple onto treasure chests, which is very useful. Like right here. If that was across the room, we could grapple onto it, like this barrel right here. And you're gonna need it in order to progress the story as well. You can see that wooden board right up here. You're also gonna see something right down here. Let's see, does Tato give us any text looking at it? No, she does not. Okay, so we're gonna wanna grapple above. Drop on in. Put on the Zora's mask. And this is why having 4 bottles is gonna be very useful to you at this point if you have them. Because, like the pirate said, there are 4 eggs here in the fortress. And if you have 4 bottles, that means you can bottle all 4 of them up without having to leave and come back. So, let's see, let's go ahead and dive. And scoop it on up. You put a Zora egg in a bottle. It doesn't look very healthy. You better have someone examine it quick. We will definitely get to that. Let's see, there should still be 3 Zora eggs in the Pirate's Fortress. Let's finish this job. Finish it indeed. Well, I believe this is where we're gonna end things off for this episode because we're approaching 30 minutes, if we're not at it already. I think we're gonna end things off here. Next time, let's play Majora's Mask 3D. We're gonna go through the rest of Gerudo Fortress, which Gerudo, however you pronounce it. Hopefully I just realized, hopefully I've not been annoying you guys so far about this, because I know everyone has a different pronunciation for it. There's 2 different camps, and I apologize if I've offended you. Anyways, next time let's play Majora's Mask. We're gonna go through the rest of this fortress, and we're gonna get the rest of the Zora eggs, and we're gonna take them to someone who can examine them, since they apparently look unhealthy, which is kind of a sad thing. So yeah, we're gonna hurry. I've been Camerati, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys back here next time. Goodbye, guys.